All right. Hello. Happy Saturday. Hi, Carolyn. Hello to you. You're beautiful. So nice to see you. And happy Saturday. Happy solstice. The day after the strawberry moon, which that's really beautiful to me because of John, obviously. Um, the strawberries are love and the seeds of love, and they're even in a heart shape. So well, yeah, when you cut into one, usually they have that cool heart shape. So strawberries are beautiful. June is beautiful, and I love the solstice. I don't love the mosquitoes, as we talked about. I even had socks on. I got home from work last night, and I wanted to enjoy, kind of wash off the work stress and everything, and then just sit outside. And oh, here's another thing. So, the number 909. Okay, John sends me 909 a lot. In fact, he did last night. Hello, Ellen. Hello. Not much going on. Saturday, I need to clean. I think my kids want to do something. Might go see a movie. Could talk about that. But yeah, the number 909. Well, apparently the moon, the strawberry moon for the solstice was at its lowest on the horizon, so it was really big. It appeared big, and I saw that on Thursday night. It was big, but it was set something about it at its perfect point, its full peak in the solstice at 9:08. Well, that's close enough to 9:09. I thought there was something significant in that. Um, yes, happy solstice and strawberry moon. Whoops, let me go back to that. Good time to manifest and also release. Um, fix this lighting. I've got Kieran behind me. My kids are home, so I probably won't be on too long, but I just wanted to come on and say hi to everybody and happy Saturday, happy weekend. Took him for a walk. So, yeah, it's funny with Henry. Henry and I had very meditative walks. Um, we would go to every Saturday, pretty much. And I still do this with Karen, but Henry and I would drive to this local park that has this big pond. And he always would start at the beginning point, go around. There's this whole ridge that goes around the pond, and then back to the car. And it was very meditative. Henry would stop at a lot of the same spots to, pee and do his business. And sometimes I'd have to pick him up and carry him partially through the end part of the walk as he got older. But it was always the same. Now, Kieran goes it's whatever way he wants to go, and if he has to zigzag back and forth and go this way or that, and then a lot of times we'll end up around the parking lot too much, and that's very frustrating for me because I never get in that zen mode like with Henry. It's almost like Henry and I would have walking meditations. So with Karen, I'm always on I'm always stressed out about it. And I'm always near concrete and the parking lot and cars and people. So I never get that, yeah, I never get into that Zen thing. But he's young. I can forgive him because he's just a little puppy. And it's funny because Kieran acts like he has ADHD for a dog. You were great on Allie's show. Really enjoyed it. Thank you, Carolyn. It was fun. It's funny because Allie asked me to do the show, and we had talked about Alien and Intergalactic and Starseed and all that. And David Bowie and Freddie Mercury and John are all Starseed. And, John wrote Across the Universe. So I think that's very fitting for the fact that I think they're all Palladian, um, from the planet Awesome, planet Rock and Roll. But yeah, so Ellie and I talked about it one time when we were talking about star seeds and intergalactic stuff. I had this wave of energy, and I could even hear it was like wong, like some electric arc through over my head, and the lights dimmed, and that was I think that was the first show that Allie and I did together when that happened, and I was like, whoa, did you see that? Um, it was really freaky. So it was clear to both of us that there was starseed, alien, whatever you want to call it, energy, and I believe she has it too. She asked me to be on the show, and I don't know. There's a lot more I could say about the topic. It was a fun show. It was. I learned a lot, And it was amazing how many people in the comments had experiences with ETs, or just they believe in it, have seen some things. But I did laugh at the story of the lady who said her friends, neighbors, mother and daughter would get abducted and end up flat on their front lawn every morning. And that cracked me up. I don't know why. Just, I was like, well, couldn't the aliens put them in the back in bed? Or I'm sure they have the technology to drop them back inside the house, but maybe not. Um, but maybe there is that humor with uh, aliens to do things like, I don't know. I think everything's so intentional with them, though, that so maybe, yeah, maybe it's on purpose. Anyway, and it made me think of Sims. I don't know if you've watched the game or played the game Sims, but it made me think of that. So, but thank you. Yeah, it was fun being on the show. And I guess we're going to do some more. So there's Elon Musk came out a while back, of all people, right? And he said there's no such thing as aliens. And I think that here's the thing about him, I think that he's from a rogue planet. He's one of those nefarious aliens who come around to, like, what are they called, Klingons, or the Borg in Star Trek, or Q on Star Trek. I think he's a nefarious alien entity who's trying to wreck human society and take over the Earth. And me being a Pleiadian, I can't stand him, and I'm always like watching out for everything he's doing. And like, why don't people see this? Why don't people see that Elon is up to no good? But yeah. Anyway, so how's everybody doing today? I'll shut up for a moment and let you guys talk. It's very warm, very humid here. We got kind of have some clouds, but it's humid. Sometimes I think the clouds, instead of cooling it down, it just traps in the heat. So um, while you guys are typing, I think I'm going to go see that movie, The Bike Riders, with Austin Butler, and it looks like a very authentic Marlon Brando-ish 1950s movie. And I usually don't like to go to big movie theaters anymore and sit for 2 hours. I don't like that, but I will for this. So I wonder if anyone else has that on their radar, and if you guys are thinking about seeing that movie or any other movies out there. I guess there's a new It. Is it called It? It's supposed to be really good. Um, let's see. A lot of movies these days, the special effects, the violence, what have you, the sci-fi element. Believe it or not, I really don't get into that. I like human stories. So for me, the fact that this Bike Riders movie looks like an actual, no paranormal stuff, because I kind of guess I like them to be separated. So I like human stories and I like paranormal, but I don't really like it when they mix. Although I did love Twilight. I thought that was a fun movie. I don't know. Whoops, I keep messing up here. So while you guys are thinking about, oh wait, let me see this. Sick for 3 days. Oh no. Okay. Carolyn says sick for 3 days. Peter is at a meeting and four dogs to run around after. Oh no. Is it still? Do you think it's still the tick bite? I mean, I hope not. I hope it's not from that. Um, there's still COVID is still. I shouldn't say that word. I'll get shadow banned. But the virus is still around, and it is coming back. If you look at the COVID, stop saying that word, Amy. If you look at the graph, the statistics for the virus, I'll say virus, the C virus, it is rising again. And I can say that at the dinner theater I work at, that more people have been coughing. So I really, I need to put on a mask again. I wore a mask all through winter and spring. And then finally one day I said, the numbers are down. Nobody seems to be getting the virus again. So I think I'm good. But I think I'm going to have to wear it again. So how about Beverly Hills Cop 4? Oh, yeah, that's true. That's true. I would see that one. I actually do like those movies. I think those are fun. Richard, no, God. I was just talking about him the other day, so I know it's Officer Foley. I know that it's the guy that plays Doctor Doolittle, and he played Alfalfa on Saturday. I love him. He's a great comic. Um, anyway, you know who I'm talking about. I get flustered when I come on here. I get a little stage fright sometimes when I come on, so please forgive me. Eddie Murphy, thank you. Eddie Murphy. Yes, Eddie Murphy is the greatest. He was so good in that movie. So, and Coming to America, that's a great movie. So, yeah, I might see it, but I don't go to the movies very often because sitting there for 2 hours is not my idea of like, I get claustrophobic, and you know how much I love movies. But anyway, I might see it. I might. Maybe I'll go to the drive-in with the kids and see it. Okay, I think it is the heat. Two sick dogs also. Oh, that's not fun. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, it could be the heat. It's that heat, that humidity can cause respiratory issues for a lot of people, and I've had that before. And sometimes also air conditioning can, like if I'm sitting writing and the vent is on and air conditioning is blowing up at me, I will get a chest and a throat thing very often. So that could be it too. It's just the air gets so thick, and pollution, smog, and things like that. I was sick for the beginning of the week and I couldn't figure out what it was. And it was my chest was getting congested and I had a throat thing and even my ear, I had like an earache. But the weird thing added to it was I got a rash and I would wake up in the middle of the night and my hands were itching so bad that I literally was digging at them and I thought, what is it? What have I ingested, eaten, or picked up? Is it the virus? So I was looking, Google symptom searching, and I thought, well, I stepped on a thistle. Maybe it's that. That could be it. I thought, well, no, maybe it's an allergy to peanuts because I had some chocolate. Nah, can't. I've never had this reaction before. And then I was like, wait, what about that lotion I bought? So it's Aveeno, and I bought the baby kind because it's supposed to have more natural ingredients because I'm really sensitive to scent, fragrances and things like that. Find out that's what it is. So I looked online and a whole bunch of people and their children have an allergy from this Aveeno baby lotion. So I stopped using it and sure enough, I'm fine. My hands haven't itched anymore. I'm fine. No more rash. My lungs feel better. So it's amazing how something on your skin can cause that much of a reaction. So yeah. But I'll have to, if I see this movie, The Bike Riders, I'll come back and let you know how it was. Um, I hope it's not disappointing. There's nothing worse than going to a movie and spending $8 or more for per ticket, and then a movie just being crap. But I think that it's worth. I think it's worth it. I want to promote. I want them to know that we want movies like that that are stories again, human stories, real written movies. Let's see, anyway, one day when I'm feeling better, I'm going to jump your channel with parents. Yes, we need to do a show together. We absolutely have to. Um, yes, that was fun doing that video the other night, the live about the paranormal stuff, because I didn't expect all that to come out. And again, like the alien stuff, a lot of people, you guys had a lot of stuff to say about it, a lot of experiences. So it's fun. As much. Okay, my computer's being weird. I think I have to clean up storage on my computer. I probably have a million scripts and books and manuscripts and things that I have to archive. So great. Yeah, let's do it. It'll be a lot of fun. And of course, it's all connected. That's one thing I don't know if I said yesterday, but I hopefully I was able to put it out that I think I did. I think we all did. That a lot of the alien things that we see, experience are angelic. That took me a while to accept that, because I don't think my brain wanted to accept that the aliens, as we know them in movies and all that, would be part of the angelic realm. But I believe that they are. I really, because mostly what we see and experience a lot, and I feel like a lot of the things that I've seen in the sky are plasma and light. So angels are, and orbs are like that, plasma, light, energy. Um, so of course it would all be from that same thing. And that's just the really high frequency, really high connection to the higher realms. And we are such a low density down here on Earth. Um, so yeah, paranormal, ghosts, orbs, all that, and aliens and angels, paranormal. It's all connected, in my opinion. It really is. It's just, what's the purpose and what are we supposed to learn about it? Oh, nice, Jamie. I was in a play with Jodie Comer, who stars in the background. Nice. I tried everything to get her to go on a date with me until one day her girlfriend told me, "Oh no, whoops." Yeah, that does happen. Well, you did try. You tried. She is very pretty. She reminds me of, when I saw her face, because you see a lot of these actresses these days, and everybody looks the same. It's not that they look fake or the plastic surgery, but yeah, it is. There's a lot of plastic surgery to the point of everyone looking the same. I don't want to see a movie where an actress looks like she's had plastic surgery, where she looks like everyone else. I want to see a real authentic face and a real authentic person acting from life experience, right? Um, and so when I see her face in the ads, I think she has such an authentic, real face of someone it's interesting. And she reminds me of, who's the lady that was in Damn Yankee? No, yeah, she was in Damn Yankees. And then like Audrey Hepburn, Julie Christie. She has that face of. So I don't blame you, Jamie. I do not blame you. Um, Just a very beautiful, interesting face. Just a British female actress face. I can't even explain. I'm trying, but I can't. You know who I'm. You know what I'm talking about. Who's the other one that was in Georgie Girl? Let me look her up real quick. Georgie Girl, not Lynn Redgrave. I love Lynn Redgrave. The girl that played her best friend. She's still acting. Charlotte Rampling, I think. She has that face of Charlotte Rampling. Very beautiful. Did you see the channeling of Irish Granny with Deborah? No. But see, part of me is like, hmm. Do I want to see? Will I be jealous? Will I be like, why is John going to everyone else? And um, I'll watch it. I will watch it. John does like to talk to different psychics, because he has a really high message. There's John, the Ascended Master, who's like almost close to being like Jesus. And I did ask him once, "Were you Jesus?" And he said no. He kind of laughed and he said no. So that ended that question. But he does have that light. So he does visit a lot of psychics, and um, if he has, and he probably does have an alternate life. He's still alive here as an alternate life, and he is like a psychic medium, tarot reader, healer, all of that. So I'm not surprised. That makes sense to me. And yeah, that John of that ascended master, he does have a really high message of non-materialism and loving each other. And I need to get out my book, because I am going to do that. I'm going to get my book that I wrote about John. Yeah. And I channeled a lot of what he said from spirit. It was really beautiful. And I would stop and I would cry so often, um, from the things that he told me, not to me about me or anything, but just about his message of love. So yeah, it's very good. I think. Thank you. Yeah, I'll watch it. I will watch it. Is that Debbie Freebird? I think she did. There's a couple other people. I think Sherry had an experience with John, she said. And then there's Linda at Christmas. Linda had one. And I remember I've told you that story where um, okay, so Linda was doing a show and she said, "Oh, wait, there's someone behind me just filled with light." And I was like, "It's John." And she said, "It's John Lennon." And I was like, "Yep, that's John." And then he gave a message on that Christmas day full of, love and light, that we're all one. We're all one. That's his biggest message. We evolve as humans and we're all one. And then, um, but then I was like, after it's like, why wouldn't he talk through me? I mean, on my channel, that's petty, but true. I was happy for her. And I was really, she has a big audience, so it made sense. But I was also like, why wouldn't he talk through me? And, I have whatever. And I remember later that day, I felt hurt, and he knocked over something in my bathroom right in front of me, because I said that I said something like, I'm upset with you, John, that you didn't, talk through me on my channel too. Yes, so petty of me. And he knocked over this plastic thing in my bathroom, and I was like, oh, okay. So the next week, she comes on again, and he's still there. I see him back there behind her, and she holds up a book by Janet K. Darling, and it's about, oh, Deborah Lupin. Oh, okay, I'll watch that. I know who that is. Yeah, Akashic Records lady. Well, anyway, Linda G holds up a book called, well, it was about twin flame, and it was by Janet K. Darling. And something clicked in me that I need to read the book. And some of the things that she said about it sounded just like me and John of our past lives. And I was so moved by the book, because I bought the book and read it. And I actually contacted the lady, and we had a phone call. And she was just a beautiful person. And so I really think that it was a double thing. John talked to Linda to bring a message of peace. And it was right around the 2020 election and all that. And then also to wake me up about the twin flame thing, which I hate the whole twin flame thing, but cannot deny that it's there. That I was probably his mother, that he was my father in a life, mother, father, friend, brother, sister, lover, all that twin flame stuff. So, um, yeah, I'll watch it. I'll watch it. Let me put her name up here, Deborah Lupin. So that was with Irish Granny. Okay, I'll do that. Mr. John. I always say, John, you're free. You're free. You're free to go. But he's still around, and I've tried to quit him so many times. That's a twin flame thing. Also a twin flame thing, and I'm really hot talking about this. A twin flame thing is to be jealous, and a twin flame thing is also to that we can't live our lives together. We very seldom are actually together. And that sucks. But see, I'm lucky that I realized pretty early on my connection with him. It's been a long journey. Yeah. Well, anything else? I'm still hot from it. It's weird talking about John does that. It's strange. It's definitely a twin flame. It's weird. John, as you have a message to give that is just as important as if it comes from him. It's all diluted. Your voice is just important. Thank you. Yeah, he's told me that. John has told me that before, that he'll try to say. Okay, cool. Oh, okay. To watch it. Thank you, Carolyn. Yeah, the thing, John has tried to tell me to take more power in my own voice, and that's why I come on here and try to give my own message. I do feel like a lot of the channeling I get about politics and things and spirituality comes from John, but it's also from me too. I've taught him a lot, and that's something that he made me realize. And as I've said, the song "Right Down the Line" by Jerry Rafferty, he kept sending me that song, and I was like, okay, let me look up the lyrics. Like, oh my God, this is John. After he died, he really clung to me a lot, and as I've grown spiritually, he has too. And I did go through a period where I was really mad at God. I was really mad at God and spirit, and not so I couldn't call myself a non-believer because I was like literally yelling at God in my head, like. um, and then one day I realized, oh, I'm still talking to him, so I must believe in God still. But I needed that release. It's good, actually. I think healthy to be able to say, there's no religion. Like John said, there's no religion. There's nothing there because there's so much bad karma and so much dogma and pain associated with religion. And there's so much suffering in the world. And you go, why? That was me all the time. Why would you let this happen? Why is this happening? Why did these things happen to me? And I was really mad at God. And then it actually helped me to step away from religion and spirituality, whatever. I'd grown up Catholic. I'd had my dad's cult church, but Catholic was really in me. And so I had to get my own thoughts. What did I believe? And sometimes it just helps to step away, just let it all go, and then you start fresh. And then you can fill yourself up again with new knowledge. And that's kind of what I did. And I read a lot of spiritual books. Um, so my message in John's is very similar, but I do have my own message, but it is very similar. So, yeah. And I think a lot of my message comes out in my music and in my books. And I was reading some things that I've written. Um, I wrote a lot there for a while. And I think that's why it's hard for me to write these days, because I literally wrote myself out. I wrote so hard that I got broken blood vessels on my ankles, literally, because I sat in a chair and wrote so hard and so much. And all the characters and things I channeled, so many epiphanies. I mean, the epiphanies in my writing and some of the lines still floor me. Like, how did I write that? Well, I was channeling. And I believe John was part of that, and other writers from, on the other side. But me, yes, me too. I have a lot to teach. I do. As through trial and error, as I'm not a perfect person at all. But can I say this? It's funny looking back, and you talk about different experiences in your life that have led you to spirituality and spiritual knowledge. I've gone through the gamut, and all I could say is, when, probably like you guys too, before I came here, and they're passing out, okay, do you want to have this life lesson? Do you want to have that? And I was like, give them all to me. I'll take them all. I'll take them all, because I want to learn hard and fast. Um, I can see myself doing that, because I'm the person who's like, you go first, and I'll take this hard path instead, so you don't have to, and I'll carry this load so you don't have to. I can totally see myself on the other side going, I'll take it all. And and there's so many times that I thought, why did I do that? Or, why did my life have to be anyway? But it's to teach. And from a young child, I remember turning to this girl who was crying. Something had happened, and I turned to her and I said, "You'll be okay." Um, I said some words of wisdom to her. I remember, and she looked at me with her eyes were like, "What?" And then I heard her say to someone like, "Oh, she acts like she's 30 years old," or something like that. I am an old soul. I'm a really old soul. And junior high, I had this job volunteering in the library at school. And the librarian would say, Amy, I want you to go over there and make sure all of that section is in order. And it was like the aught dot one section, and the decimal code, up to twos. And that was all spiritual books in a junior high, of all places. So it was a lot of books about cancer and NDEs. It's weird that it would be in a junior high school. And I would check all the spines and pull the book out, make sure everything was. And I was learning, and I was reading the back. It was weird. It was so weird. It was like being in the Akashic records, as they say. Okay. Okay. You're affecting more people than you realize. You don't need a platinum record as proof of success. You can change your life. Everyone you meet. The grand music is in people's hearts. I hope so. I have said before, I don't care if I'm famous. From John, but well, from you too, Jamie. Thank you. That's from your heart too. Um, yeah, I said in this very room, I don't care if I'm famous. I just want to write really good stuff, and also to really help people and be a teacher. I do like teaching, but I do think that I teach mostly through, probably my biggest revelations come through my music and writing book and literature. Um, so What am I trying to? I had a brain fart. It's hard. See, I get overwhelmed. I get really overwhelmed. But I do have a lot to teach. I have a lot of past lifetimes and a lot of things in my life. It's funny because you know how when you go through things and you go, oh, I know what that was for. That's how I am. I know what that was for. So, yeah. But thanks for saying that, Jamie. That was really sweet of you. And Carolyn. And I saw this comment. I need to. I was hoping you saw it. It's like Harry and I. Yeah, I need to watch. I will watch it. I'll listen to it. Are you like me? Do you listen to YouTube videos and then go do stuff like dishes and cleaning and things like that? By the way, I look so I look so tired. I worked last night. Don't I look like a immigrant from like an Irish immigrant? I really do. There's this thing they call the iPhone face, and it's where you could look modern. So I wish I had contacts. Where you look modern on the iPhone, but then if someone put you in a time travel or whatever, you look like you time traveled from the 1800s. That's me, and I think that it is because we're closer to our heritage. So I'm really close to being full blown Irish. And I showed those pictures of my grandmother, Marion, and I do look a lot. In fact, I looked in the mirror today and I was doing this thing like we all do, looking in the mirror. And I was like, oh my God, I totally have my grandmother's eyes. We have the same eyes. And I probably was her, and her, that was probably, she went through a very hard life, by the way. Okay, hold on. Well, I agree. With John, success will come, but don't see yourself as failure. Thank you, Jamie. I do. There's some work that of mine that I can't read or listen to, and and others where I almost like because I feel like I channeled it. It wasn't just me. It was me. I remember putting in all that work, and and put yeah, butt and chair is what it is. You have to have butt and chair. That's the work. Um, but also it wasn't me, and I do feel like my higher self or just that creative archangel Gabriel is one of the creative angels that helps, and you just have to. You almost when you write every day, and it's not easy. You have, and you know this, Jamie, too, that you have to just sit there and allow it to come. And sometimes that's the fear is that it won't happen. The magic won't happen. And so um, it is something outside of me. I totally believe that. It's me. I'm doing the work, but there's something outside of me creating it. And a lot of humor. That's what I like, a lot of epiphanies and a lot of humor, and sometimes just really damn good writing. And I'll say that about my writing because I've edited other people's work. I spent probably about 10 years helping writers with their like query letters to get agents, ironically, because I don't have an agent, and their startup pages, their first chapters, things like that. And I would succinctly edit and show them where to start the first part of their story and what the best part of their story, what they should focus on. And I would get everything so tight. And I would think, I am a damn good writer. I'm a good. I mean, I don't. I don't like. I don't say it about the way I look. I'm so attractive. No, I don't say that about my looks or anything. But as a writer, I'm like I'm a damn good writer and I'm a damn good editor. So and songwriting too. And I could say that stepping out of myself too because I don't feel like I'm quite me. I'm just a spectator in this body. To be honest, I don't know. I'm still discovering me. Um, what the hell am I doing here? Did I see that one of my songs is running on YouTube? Oh, cool. Well, someone told me one time, they said, you're on Spotify. And I'm like, I am? I didn't know that. I'm just, once in a while, I'll see something. I'm on GarageBand. No, wait, no, what is it? What's that website? That's the editing software. Well, whatever. I'm everywhere. Part of that is when you submit a CD, you sign up with CD Baby if you're indie, and then that distributes it to Apple Music, iTunes, and then YouTube through Google puts your music on. I didn't know they were doing that. I do have my own page, which is so hidden and so like nobody can find that. I don't know why. But people are finding my music on Spotify and other places like that, so that's cool. Um, And like Jamie and I have talked about, probably one of my best songs is State Line. And I remember writing that because I lived near the state line, and I thought, wow, what if someone just decided to disappear? So they just drove past or rode past state line, and their whole life changed. And so I wrote about different people who go across the state line and their whole life changes. But my other favorite song I've written is, well, my mother loved the song called Soldier, which I dreamt of. I woke up with that song in my head. And the other one is Windswept, which reminds me of Harry. It's like from, uh, is it from Midnight Cowboy? Everybody's changing. No, what's it called? Well, you know the song. It's his most famous song out there. And also David Gray. And Keen, Everybody's Changing, which is one I think. Anyway, so I love that song called Windswept. And Meadowland is one of my favorite songs I've written. But and there's more to come. More to come. I will keep writing. So this picture amazing. Yes, my dear grandmother. You love good. I'm glad you like Windswept because that was I remember writing that song, and that whole album actually I wrote with a lot of John in mind, and my kids were little, so I felt like for the first time I really was coming to as a woman, as an artist, and I really felt John around me when I wrote a lot of those songs. And yeah, I remember um, thinking of Harry and God, what's it called? It's gonna drive me nuts. My OCD is gonna go nuts. Harry Nilsson. If I look up Harry Nilsson, that's gonna be one of the first songs. Everybody's talking about me. It's everybody's talking, right? I can't hear a word they're saying. Yeah, it's everybody's talking. Only echoes in my mind. So that's was an inspiration. Yeah. Anyway, now I'm embarrassed. Oh gosh, you guys. So anything else? How's it going in your world besides being sick? How's the weather? Besides the heat? And let's see what else. Taylor Swift was in England. That swept over England. Uh, she makes everyone happy, so that's cool. That's It's so weird to see Prince William out there dancing around to Taylor Swift. My funny Valentine. You want to hear that? That's your hair. Yeah, love him. I love him. He's he's so good, so talented. Sing My Funny Valentine. Well, where's the words? I've sung it before. Who originally sang that song? My funny Valentine, sweet little Valentine, stay. What are the lyrics? You know who I love is Billie Holiday, and I've always said that if I could do a show, I would do Billie Holiday. I mean, obviously I couldn't be completely Billie Holiday, but in the spirit of, in honor of her, I really love Billie Holiday. Um, Man, that's a voice. That's was a woman. She had her problems. I love Janis Joplin, so there's a similarity there in those sort of broken women who have the whiskey voice and all that. Yeah, Janis and Billie Holiday are very similar. My Funny Valentine. Looking for the lyrics. My little Valentine. Anyway. We go here. Frank Sinatra. No, song by? Did he write? He didn't write it. Did he? He didn't write that. What is the history of Chet Baker? Uh, Song was written in 1937 for 17-year-old Mitzi Green to sing in Rodgers and Hart's musical Babes in Arms. Well, I know a million gazillion people have sung that song. You made me love you. I didn't want to do it. I've seen that video of yeah, she's amazing. Yeah, Billie Holiday, amazing. No, but that video of Judy Garland singing that, um, You made me want you. I didn't want to do it. And then there's Barbara Streisand. And the first time I saw it not when it came out because I was a little kid, but as an adult, I saw the movie The Way We Were with Barbara Streisand and Robert Redford. And see that 1940s thing. I was really, really drawn to 1940s, and maybe because I was Julia, and then the whole thing with John, the 1940s. I don't know. I just saw that movie, and I really was drawn to her character. And to this day, the way that I fight so hard against fascism, I think of that scene with Barbara Streisand in the college campus, and she's pulls everyone in. They're all laughing at her, but then she says some things and it really pulls them in, and she makes sense. And I love that movie. And, growing up having this, like, like John in Hard Day's Night when he's like, the nose is saying, um, yeah, me and my nose. I have a love and hate relationship with my nose. But people would say, oh, you remind me of Bette Midler, or you remind me of, yeah, Barbara Streisand. I'm like, well, I don't want to look like Bette Midler and Barbara Streisand. But now I take it as an honor. I really do. And I'll look at my profile, and I actually really love my nose profile. I kind of hate my nose straight on because, look, I got this thing here. And now we're changing topics, but oh well. I'll change. I did go to a plastic surgeon, and I wanted a nose job, and he did the whole thing where he measured it, and he was like, well, we could shave this down, and we could clean up the tip. And it was like that scene in Sex and the City when Samantha goes and he's like, well, we could do this and tighten this and put Botox here and put liposuction here. And she leaves and she's like, oh my God, I'm hideous. There's something about when you go to a plastic surgeon and they point out your flaws, you're kind of asking them to. But I remember for afterwards thinking, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to. And that's when I started to write, actually. I thought, you know, I'm just going to write a book. I'm just going to escape from whatever I feel about my body and my nose, my image. And I'm just going to go write a book. And that summer was one of the most beautiful summers of my life because writing, it really is my thing. It really is. I love to sing. I'll always want to sing and perform. In fact, I still want to be in a band. But writing is really, not only does writing free me, it makes me happy, it helps my depression, but it also introduces me to characters not yet born that come from the universe, and I get to tell their story. And there's something so amazing about that that makes me truly friggin' happy. And also, I must get off on words and writing, and that's the Gemini in my. I have a lot of Gemini, um, and so yeah, writing is my one of my biggest things. I remember seeing a typewriter at my friend's house after school. We went to her house, we walked in her room, and she had a little table in her room set up with a typewriter on it. And I thought, son of a bitch. I can't believe she's going to be a writer now when I've secretly been writing and doing all these things. And I was so jealous. This is me on the inside. Anyway, yeah, I was jealous. That's how you know you're a writer. I wasn't jealous of the way she looked or like anything. I was jealous of the fact that she had her own writing station and her own typewriter. Oh, thank you, Carolyn. Well, here's the thing. I do have body dysmorphic disorder, and we don't see ourselves as beautiful. Um, Sometimes I have glimpses of, I like the way I look. I'm okay with the way I see everyone else as beautiful. That's what's interesting. But when you have body dysmorphic disorder, it means that you have a distorted view of yourself. And I know that. I know that I'll never look at myself and think that I look the way that I want to look because um, of that disorder. It's a real disorder. It's like the circus mirrors, when you go to the fair and the mirrors are all distorted. So it's hard. I really wish I could see myself with better eyes. But I will say this. Luckily, I haven't gone and I've been wise enough to not go have a ton of plastic surgery. I have had lip fillers before. That wasn't bad. I would do it again. I'm thinking about, getting a little Botox as I get older and all that. But I don't want to look like I don't want to look like everyone. I don't want to look like Kim Kardashian. I still want to be authentic. Um, but I was going to say that, um, what was I going to say? Well, whatever. Maybe it doesn't matter. If I forgot, it doesn't matter. But yeah, I did do the plastic surgery visit. Didn't do it. Didn't get the nose done. And here's the thing about my mother, and I love my mother, but she didn't exactly help my self confidence. But I look back now and I see it was that she wasn't confident in her, and she was seeing in me the things that she didn't like about herself. So there's where it really started, was that my mother didn't have that. Um, uh, and she wanted me to get a nose job. Isn't that ironic? John didn't. When I said I wanted to get a nose job, I felt John get extremely upset and cry from the other side. And it really affected me. And ever since then, I've been like, yeah, I'm not going to get a nose job, because John literally uh, lost it on the other side. He did not want me to get a nose job. Now, the other thing, I just remember what I was going to say, and maybe this will help anyone out there who has body dysmorphic disorder. I think a lot of what a body dysmorphic disorder is trauma. So when we look in our face and we see our father, like today I saw, oh my God, my eyebrows are dark. Like my dad had really dark eyebrows, okay? And sometimes I bleach them. Yes, Amy Winehouse had it. Yes, I'm going to talk about that. We are connected. Amy Winehouse and I are connected. Um, so, um, oh yeah, and I feel that. I feel that deep in my soul as I said that. Um, it's our parents. So our parents could have been Brooke Shields and Robert Redford, right? But if they have trauma and they caused us trauma, then we look in the mirror and, like, I see my dad today a lot. I see harsher features today, and then other days I see softer features like my mother. But both of those people gave me trauma. So for a long time, I bleached my hair, and probably my makeup was a little different. And I would still bleach my hair. I don't have any problem with bleaching my hair. That's kind of one of my personalities too, is to have lighter hair. Um, but I've always been kind of running from my image. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, but that's like, I know I have a disorder, and I accept that. I work with it. I work around it, but I know it's a disorder. But anyway, yeah, it's our family trauma. I look in the mirror, I see my mother's pain. I see my dad's harshness and his abuse. So I never can look in the mirror and just see me, but sometimes I do see me, and I think I capture me in pictures a lot. Um, so that's good. Um, Now, Amy Winehouse, and sometimes I'll actually ask John to come forward, and I'll say, John, I'm not feeling good about myself today. Can you just glow from out of me and let the world see that, almost as a shield, because I'm not doing well today? Anyway, Amy Winehouse. So I knew this about her, that she had a unconventional face, right? It wasn't like the perfect, cute little heart shaped face, but she was cute. She was really adorable. And here she was petite. She had a lot of style. She had a lot of sass and attitude. And of course, she was talented, extremely talented. And that voice, my God. But she had a strong face and a strong nose. I know that feeling. And so, um, when she passed away, I remember that night I was extremely depressed, to the point of going like, "Oh my God, this, maybe I need to call someone because I'm really depressed." And then the next day I found out that she died, and I thought, "Ah, that's what I was feeling." And I felt the same thing with um, Robin Williams, two people who had depression. Um, yeah, and so, okay, so Sam Taylor Johnson, one of my favorite directors, she did this movie recently about Amy Winehouse, but the problem is she picked a pretty girl, the standard pretty girl. Amy Winehouse, a lot of her issues were, like me, from body dysmorphic disorder, from having the non perfect face, the different face, the stronger nose, the stronger face. And a lot of that is caused, yeah, whatever. I feel like I would see the movie, but I can't now, because it's just such a slap in the face that they picked a quote unquote standardly beautiful, cute girl to play Amy Winehouse. Amy Winehouse had a strong face, a strong soul, and strong talent. She did not have a cute little Cupid doll Betty Boop face. And it really bothered me that they did that. I feel they kind of betrayed Amy Winehouse like that. Now, like with John, one thing I love about John is that Cynthia was extremely beautiful, and she did have a nose job at one point, but she had a strong face, and Yoko had a strong face. Alma Coogan had a strong face. John really loved strong, almost like handsome women. I find that sort of a relief being the non-Cupid doll. Um, anyway, Florence Welch, one of my favorite artists, Florence Welch. She has a strong face, not that Victorian and the what do you call it, the nose, the Roman nose, and all that. Okay, so Taylor Swift came to Liverpool again in true to form. I tripped over whilst looking at her billboard. I hurt my knee, but managed to shake it off. Shake it off. Ha. She has that effect on you, Jamie. I don't blame you. Taylor is extremely beautiful, and there's some sort of magic in her. And I don't get into her music, but I will say I've always said this about Taylor Swift. If she's making people happy, then that's good. If she's bringing people together in a positive way, that's good. If she's going to help people change the world in a positive way, that's good. If she is empowering women and men, that's good. So I may not like her music, but damn, she's doing all of that. So I give her kudos for that. Even Paul's daughter, is it Stella? Stella McCartney, she was there. So, I think that Taylor is kind of like the popular, like, okay, when I grew up, Debbie Gibson and Tiffany and Madonna, right? And then you had like Beyonce and you have, oh gosh, what's her name? Well, whatever. They're popular. It wasn't like really deep music, but popular, made people happy. I kind of see it as the same thing on a large scale. So, whatever, I'll shut up because I don't want to offend anyone. There's channeling of on Deborah Loop. Gosh, I did a lot. I need to bring out some of my channelings too that I had with Peter Tork and Davy Jones and Mike Nesmith and Janis Joplin. I did a great channeling of Janis Joplin, but I'm going to watch that. But I will say this: it's hard for me to watch things about Amy Winehouse because I feel it's so deep and is such a close parallel of emotion that it is hard for me. So I kind of avoid them. But I do call to I call to a lot of artists I try to every day. I actually call to Andy Kaufman. Yeah, I'll watch it. I will definitely. Um okay, so I called to Janis Joplin, I called to John, I called to Peter Tork because Peter Tork came to me so strong and he's like a good friend on the other side and he makes me happy. Um I called to George Harrison and Tom Petty, Rick Nelson, Roy Orbison, Johnny Cash, Otis Redding, Billie Holiday, Bessie Smith. I called to all, and Karen Carpenter, Elvis, Buddy Holly, I already said. Writers, Truman Capote, Shakespeare, Jane Austen. See, I call to all these artists and writers because we're all creative and they're all muses and friends on the other side to me. I have no right to them. I could wish I was as great as them. But anyway, I call to a lot of all the archangels and a lot of creative people. I really love their friendship and support. It sounds so weird. I sound like a blowhard when I say that, but it's true. I do it. And it's 11:44. My channel. Okay, yes. I I thought that afterwards. I was like, oh, that's what she meant. Yeah, I have some that I recorded and I need to get them out of private because they're in private mode. But I do want to do another one with Janice. But I'll tell you what, I went through my Janice phase where she woke me up. And yes, she did die of an overdose. She did. And but she made me go through her overdose. I had a sickness and I was in her hotel room and I was vomiting. This is gross, but I was sick all night and I kept thinking of her and it was almost like she was having me experience her um, death. She was very depressed, Janis Joplin. So um, beautiful. I love Janis. I love her so much. I really do. So inspiring. Like I know she had her problems. I'm not celebrating that, but as a musician, like her voice and just her spirit as a woman and a human being really inspires me. But I can say the same thing about John. And lately, George Harrison has really sort of inspired and helped calm me down and help me on a spiritual level. So George has such beautiful, beautiful energy and very earthy too. I love it. Okay, so Taylor Swift in London. So I'm just saying, I think that Travis is going to propose to her soon, if not already. I'm just saying. Maybe it'll happen there in England. Didn't she have a house in England for a while? She dated what's his face? One of the superhero guys. And then maybe it'll be in no, she already went to Scotland, so it's not going to happen there. But yeah, Travis, I think he's ready to propose to her if he hasn't already. So I think she's ready, don't you think? I think that she's at a certain part of her life where she's done it all and she's achieved a certain amount and now she's ready to have children. And that doesn't mean she's going to stop writing or singing. Well, anyway. Okay, Jolson won't leave you alone. So yeah, I think in July we might hear about them. There we go. I think July or August, Taylor and Travis, TNT. Whoa, TNT. I think that they're going to get engaged. I really do. Well, Amy Jolson won't leave me alone. I'm going to try to find boarding house location where he lived in Liverpool. Also, his father worked in Cavern. Very strange. Yeah, that's amazing. That is amazing. Definitely. He definitely wants you to play him and talk about him and probably write about him too. So that's wonderful. Isn't she? I thought she was. Okay, Carolyn. So Jamie, yes, he is with you. He wants you to do that. He wants you to play him and write about him too. He's very honored that you're bringing him to life. Okay, isn't she? I kind of picked up on that. Now I know she said we shouldn't say that about celebrities, but I think that she is, and I think that will be part of the engagement coming up. The reason for, though that doesn't matter, you know. I don't believe that you have to be married to have children. I think you just have to be in a good, solid commitment to, you know, have the children because it ain't easy and you need that support definitely. But yeah, Carolyn, I let's call it here. I did say it a while back. I was picking up on those vibes. So, oh, I need to wash my hair. I took Karen for a walk and I just feel, ugh, but whatever. I'll shut up about my hair anyway. Um, Little Taylor. Now, who's are they going to be musicians or football players or both? Can you be both? They're going to be cute, cute babies. They showed his brother at the concert. I saw this. Uh, Travis's brother was up in the celebrity lounge. Stella McCartney was there, and they're all like dancing and having fun. And he looks so out of place because he comes from that world of sports, and now he's in girl world, like girl celebration, spice. It's kind of like Spice Girls type of energy, you know. So, oh well, it's kind of funny to see that. It's such a weird mixing of the football player and the pop star. That's so strange. Well, does anyone want to hear any politics or anything like that? The debate's coming up. I'll just throw this out there that I felt like 45 wouldn't do it, but now I see that he will. I think that he will. I think it's too late for him to pull out of the debate. If he was going to not do it, he would have said so already, like yesterday. I think he's going to go ahead and do it because the image I got this morning from Spirit was leave it to Beaver when uh, Lumpy, his best friend, would say, "Ah, you chicken," and Beaver would go, "No, I'm not chicken," and then he would just like do the stupidest thing and get in trouble, and Dad's gonna clobber you. I see that. I see that. Also, it's planned in the planets that 45 will do this debate and really make a big fool out of himself and affect the voting come November. It's really going to make a lot of people turn from him. Yeah, there's going to be his crowd that are going to be like, yeah, he really stuck it to President Biden. He really made him look like a bumbling idiot, Sleepy Joe. And because they're never going to change. So he's going to, but that is going to turn off also a lot of voters to see that he would treat our president like that. Um, and his lies are going to be really obvious. And someone said a good thing to ask 45 is, how are you going to, when you're, if you became president, how would it look to have foreign leaders visit you in jail? That's not a good look. He wants Roger to have a silent movie night ending with Jolson, the first sound movie. Oh, that would be great. He wants, Jamie, do you see that? He wants you to have a silent movie night ending with Jolson, the first sound movie. Nice. There you go. I still also think that you need to do the Robin Williams project. So both. You're really, it's building up for you. So keep on it, Jamie. Keep on it. But yeah, I agree with Carolyn. That's going to be great. I love that. And I love all the jazz. I love that era of jazz. I know there's the whole racial thing that Jolson really was trying to bring a positive light to it. But now, looking back, uh, it wasn't tastefully done, but it was part of the art movement of that time. So it's just the context. But you'll bring a beautiful light to it. You're going to portray him in a way that'll help people understand um, the beauty of what he was trying to do. And it was pure art and talent. He was trying to mix the two worlds together, don't you think? And the jazz, that whole jazz era is amazing. I'm seeing John over here on the ground next to me. I see his image on the floor. So he's listening in here. Oh, that's what I will do. Oh, nice. Oh, so is it that? Okay. Nice. Cool. That's going to be fun. Well, okay, what else about politics? Does anyone have any questions about politics or life before I head off? I'm going to eat some lunch here and see how everything's going. I got to clean. Okay, so the debate, I believe it will happen. It's going to be a crap show. I think that the Bannon is going to, well, yes, Bannon's going to jail. He is. He's going to jail. He's almost going to get out of it here, but he's going to go to jail. That's in the planets too, or some people would say the Akashic Records. Bannon is going to go to jail. This is all part of the deconstruction of the power ring surrounding 45. So Bannon is going to jail. Yes. And you saw how Eileen Cannon tried to have Jack Smith removed, but I don't think it happened. And bad move, a bad move. Okay, let me ask you about UK politics. Do you see Keir Starmer becoming prime minister? Keir Starmer, prime minister? No, I don't feel it. It would be a huge change, and it's not time for change right now. So if it happened maybe 6 years from now, Carolyn, maybe you know something about it too. I'm getting no. I just instantly got no. But it might be 6 years from now, but just not right now. See, I got the sick thing too. Um, and I said that yesterday, and it kind of echoed in my head all day. He's going to be too sick. But I think you're right. It could be a mix of that. He was sick last time. Remember, he tried to almost kill President Biden because he had COVID, and he was like, you could almost see the waves of it coming off of him. He looked terrible. Um, I do feel like that's one of his cards, again, to be sick and get out of a lot of things. Now, Sterling still says that he thinks 45 is going to leave the country. Once it's clear that he might have to go to jail here, that he could leave the country. But he says he's still going to be on the ticket for the election. So I don't know. That's why it's not good to listen to a lot of other psychics, because then you go, you doubt yourself. I personally feel like this is all planned. It's going to be 45's just decomposing in front of us in a political power way. Starmer has time to wait. Yeah, see, that's what I get too. That's what I think. There's a lot that has to change first, but it would be too big of a change for England right now. Don't you think, Carolyn? But the name doesn't have, I get kind of a good feel from the name. So, and I don't know who the person is, but I get like, if they wait, their agenda would be better suited for England, but just not right now. But I like that name, Keir Starmer. It sounds like a pretty name. There's some like some sort of interesting energy attached to it. At least you don't have Boris in there anymore. I saw when Boris got into power, I saw that he was like the version of 45. He was another narcissist, but then he proved to be not quite as bad, but not great. Just at least he had a little bit of a spine and a soul. But now Modi in India, he's full on narcissist, fascist, and he's the one. I'll tell you the story about the what do you call it? Where you get the like Spirit told me all night that one night. Hologram. Okay, so Modi in India. Okay, so when 45 was sick in October, 2020, and then he came back and did that balcony speech that Friday night before. I woke up and all night I heard from Spirit hologram, hologram, hologram. So the next day, somehow they were able to get all these people together, and 45 had just gotten back from Walter Reed, and the crowd they had out there, and this was pre-January 6th. It kind of reminded me of January 6th. They had, strangely enough, blue hats and red shirts. Not the red hats, but blue hats and red shirts. And it was almost like a thing to distract us. And Spirit kept saying hologram, hologram. So I looked at 45, and I still don't know to this day if that was a hologram of him on the balcony. But I looked up, and it said that Modi from India used a hologram to campaign. And I thought, well, it is possible. So I looked up, did they ever think of using a hologram of 45? And sure enough, they, right before that balcony speech, when he was in Walter Reed, they had contacted this guy. There was a specialist in hologram technology and asked him if he could do something. So that may have been one of my weirdest predictions, but I'll never know until there's a book or something if it really came true, if 45 was a hologram on the balcony. But that's, anyway. So if he's sick, if we could come to things like that where he uses online stuff or holograms for his imagery. I don't know. It could happen. The Colonel has to go. I think there will be someone in between. Okay. That's Jamie. That's for the Keir Starmer. Okay, the reason you're in a pickle is because I'm a passionate Labor voter and I like Starmer, but it's fashionable to knock him, divide the voters, and the Conservatives will clean up again. Well, they always do that, don't they? They got to divide everyone. Like right now, they're trying to divide us with the 10 Commandments in the schools. And they thought that would make us have like some huge war. We're going to go out in the streets and fight. We don't really care. It's not. We're not fighting over that. But I'm always surprised to hear that England, because you guys are so much more understanding and seem to be more logical about these things. I know you are, but you fight almost as much as we do here about our politics. And it's usually about money, isn't it? It's about money and the unions and things like that. So, all right. Anything else? Anything else? Happy Saturday. Enjoy the rest of June. Could be an interesting week here. When is the debate? Is it this week? Because if it's this week, it's going to be interesting. Let me look up the debate. Okay, 45 just revealed how he'll attack Biden. See, that's not going to go well. because people really love President Biden. They may not like the money, the economy, which I don't feel like that was Biden's fault. I think that started with the pandemic. Um, you can't say you weren't warned at the upcoming, okay, June 27th. So when is that? June 27th it's coming up this week. Thursday night. You weren't warned, blah, blah, blah. Trump plans to highlight a handful of horrific murders allegedly by undocumented migrants and blame them on President Biden. So the guy who put kids in cages is going to go on that. Well, we know this because 45 told us so. Blah, blah, blah. We have a new Biden migrant killing. It's only going to get worse. There's a risk from crossing the border, and it's not the president's fault. And and I feel for every migrant that wants to come here for freedom. I understand that. But it's not the president's fault. Hi, Vivian. How are you? It's nice to see you. Vivian, you have a show. She has a show. You guys subscribe to her channel because she does great channelings and psychic readings. Carolyn says, I want you to have a beautiful day and ground yourself to feel really happy and great. Thank you, Carolyn. I'll do that. I'll go outside. I'll ground myself today. And Amy, and you too. And I hope that you feel better. Amy, before you go, you need to know the Leopold Gallery is important to you. I don't know what that means, but don't ignore anything coming from them. Leopold. Okay, I'll look it up. Thank you, Jamie. Leopold. That's a cool name. I hate to leave so soon. Vivian, do you have a question? Because I'm going to sign off pretty soon. I'm happy to see you here. I'm really happy to see you. Welcome to the club. I just threw in a quick live because I'm going to maybe go see a movie or swimming. I'm not sure which one I'm going to do today. So what else? Let's see. Yeah, I'll look at Jamie. I'll look that up. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's nice to see you. I love your readings. I love when you did. Oh, okay. Well, let me know if you do have any questions. Let me know, and I can answer them later on. Just put it in the comments. I love your readings with Amy, Warrior Princess, who is so adorable and so sweet. And Jamie, she loves Amy. Warrior Princess loves Doctor Who, by the way. So, and also, thank you, Jamie. Leopold Gallery. Yes, and yeah, and Carolyn, let's plan on doing a paranormal show maybe this week. Let me know when you're ready because we could do one this week, and it'd be fun. All right, you guys, love you. Thank you. Happy Saturday, and it's still that solstice energy is still here, Strawberry Moon. So much love and peace, and I will talk to you on the other side. So take care, guys. Bye.